we're going to be going into map number 2. It's going to be Antigua Shipyard. I feel like this map is going to be the best map for Sting against Grubby. So if Grubby doesn't pull out something special, he might have to make that huge comeback again. Yeah, and as you can see down on our little overlay here, big shout out to our sponsor. Not sponsor, no, to our observer in Fezzer. We had it threw me off for a second there because it said hashtag in Fezzer, and I was like, surely that should be at in Fezzer. But there you go, at in Fezzer. Go follow him. He's been doing a fantastic job all tournament long. A big thank you for him to have our observer here. So let's jump in, guys, to game number 2 here on Antigua Shipyard between Grubby and Sting. Spawning down in our southern position here as our blue Protoss. Currently 1 game down in this best of 5. Singapore, let me hear you for Grubby. And spawning up in the north position here as our red Terran after an extremely strong opening game here on Daybreak. Now we are on Antigua Shipyard. Give it up for Western Wall Sting. You know, this map in TVP, I feel like a Terran can play here with an aggressive standard play and have great results. That's true. Just fantastic results. And normally we talk about how Sting just never plays standard, but he did last game pretty much. You know, he stayed pretty darn standard, pretty by the book, and I feel like that threw Grubby off. He was ready for anything. He was scared that Sting was going to all in him or something, but here Sting is again, playing this more standard style, getting his command center first. And he's going to be thrown for a loop when he scouts. He's going to be like, what? You're not going to 1-1-1 me? No, exactly. And, you know, that was so evident in game number 1 via exactly what happened in terms of when Grubby was trying to claim his third. His timing of his third was just a little bit late every single time. And, you know, by that time, Sting had just a phenomenal army to actually push out and keep denying it. There's a weird dynamic in PvT where you need to actually have that third up and running a little bit before in order to really kind of create those defensive locations. Well, hopefully Grubby can learn from that last game a little bit. Oh, almost gets that SCV, not quite. He will continue to harass. Hopefully he won't lose the probe this game. He really needs to stay on top of his scouting intel. And that's another thing that went a little bit wrong. He wasn't spending any robo time on observers, so he wasn't actually able to check, hey, when is your third timing, or hey, what's your tech look like? You know, he lost, like one observer had 1 more, and that was it. Yeah, this is so true. And for now, coming on to Antigua here, I mean, what does Grubby do, Artosis? Where does he go? Does he just continue to play that standard, but sees this command center first and then says, well, you know, I'm going to take my third base a little quicker than I was doing on game number 1, or how does he play this out? Well, this one is a little bit more of a tricky map. Yeah. You know, for Grubby, he can't really go double Forge Colossus. That's not very good here, to be honest. He could go like a single Forge Colossus with quick blink, something like that. Could go right into Twilight Tech. But he has to make some sort of choice like this instead of just the standard turtley type play he did before. And this is exactly pretty much what Blisk was outlining on our analysis desk there. The fact that, you know, the rush distances here are a little bit less than they are on Daybreak, so that Zealot actually wanders over, has a little bit of a look around, a bit of a poke, sees if it can get any damage, but is unable to do so right now. I mean, it's not entirely to what Blisk was saying, but hello, Twilight Council. Not surprised to see this. It's a good choice for this map, and in fact, it's off 1 gate. There is a possibility we're going to see him go into super fast Blink Observer, which normally is reserved for, well, PvZ, but on this map, you can get up there in the base and stop Stim. And if you stop Stim one time against Terran, one time, you have a big lead. God, it's so right. You're so right with that. I mean, sometimes there are 1-base Blink plays that go for that kind of pressure, and then if they fail, you don't have anything to fall back on. But after somebody's gone for a command center first into that kind of thing as well, that timing opens up itself a little bit. So this Blink play could be very, very punishing depending on where he puts his buildings. And he is going for that build. This is a great build. It's the perfect opportunity based upon what Grubby scouted and how quickly he expanded. This is so doable and not at all in. All he has to do is maneuver his observer correctly so he can blink in and out a few times. It'll slow down his opponent so much. I can't even tell you, this is a perfect choice by Grubby. Perfect choice.
Very, very nice indeed. Right now we have a bunker going down at the front here for Sting. Not going to negate too much here as that stim begins right now. Whoa, that one Stalker. You almost never lose those Stalkers at the beginning. And if he'd have lost that, that would have been a big deal.
It's a huge deal with the type of unit composition he's going with. You know, he needs these Stalkers all alive. Now, we do have a move out here by Sting, and it looks like he's going to walk around the watchtowers. Oh, this is a huge amount of Marines. There's a possibility this could turn bad for Grubby if he doesn't see it, but if he does, he can dismantle the Marines.
Oh, does that pylon sit on the high ground? No. Oh,
no,
okay.
It's too far off.
Okay.
So, well, you know what? Wow, this Sting's move here, did it go through? Oh, he saw it. He saw it. And Grubby is going to be able to out-micro this. Oh, my God!
You have to be very careful when going through a brush like that right now. We have Grubby still holding strong here against this, but still Sting is so quick about getting the units out and rising in terms of supply.
Yeah, this is a very tricky build he's chosen here, and in fact doing a great job utilizing that smoke screen so effectively, something we rarely see.
Yep, and right now he's going to try and control the middle watchtower here. That Zealot's going to annoy him. The Stalkers are still pursuing. There's not that many Marines left over, actually, here. This has been a pretty cost-effective trade for Grubby right now, and he blinks up into his opponent's main with 2 Stalkers here, going for the engagement. He actually blinks up with everything, a nice shift blink, and he's going to start doing some damage.
Yeah, he has got to start doing some damage. In fact, those SCVs coming down, and Grubby's standing in kind of the wrong spot to blink out, and here we go, going back down here, going to have to blink out. And you know what? He's flanking with the Marines. Beautiful move here by Sting.
Oh, it's so good indeed. He gets so many more Stalkers than he would have done originally. What a fantastic play. And right now, Grubby down to 4 Stalkers here against 20 Marines and 2 more.
You know what? Sting is making every right move with his build orders. He's just, I mean, Grubby's choice, perfect. But Sting did exactly what he needed to do to stop it in every single way. Stalled it out, flanked it. Awesome play by Sting.
Grubby for now still blinking back, trying to keep himself well defended. He can't go for any more aggression right now because Sting just has these angles covered. He's going to go for a 3rd base, get that Robo Bay down, as well as more Stalkers on the way. I'm assuming he's going to drop a scan to kill this Observer off. It's too obvious it's there.
Yeah, you know, Grubby can't be losing all these Stalkers. He's got to be careful about that. And a lot of Stalkers go down. He does eliminate the army, though, so that's good at least.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, we only actually have 5 Marauders and 5 Marines still out. So that kind of equalizes things up a little bit in terms of Sting wanting to maybe move out. I'm pretty sure that missile turret's actually in range of that Observer right now.
Yeah, I'm sure I can see that. Yeah, he's walking right over. So, you know, right now, Grubby, what does he do from here? He tries to hold. He's stalling with the Blink Stalkers as much as he possibly can. But how much stalling can you do with just 4?
How much stalking, man? How much stalking?
Not a lot of stalking either, to be perfectly frank. This is a very small army. It doesn't have any real upgrades. There's +1 on these Marauders with medevacs, so he's going to have to back up and just zone perfectly here.
Sting is looking to move out into the middle of the map right now, almost 25 supply up on his opponent. He will potentially have to pull back once he sees that first Colossus pop, and that's really going to be the linchpin of Grubby's defenses here as the infamous Scouting Factory comes along and sees pretty much everything. Sees the Robo, didn't see the Robo Bay just yet though, so Sting is still poisoning himself in the middle of the map, trying to deny that 3rd base. Ooh. This actually might go down.
Yeah, that 3rd base, it looks like it may. And in fact, carrying out this Colossi so quickly, it does not have Thermal Lance, so this is an issue for him. And he just doesn't have the hit points. He doesn't have the tanking.
Oh, he goes down. Nice move there by Sting. Really sniping that off so well. Right now, he's having to rely on all of his gateway units to really deal with this. He pulls probes off the line as well. Grubby feels he's in a bit of trouble here, as right now, there's another Colossus on the way. Will it be able to save it off? He tries to focus it down. It doesn't take it down with 2 of those volleys, and he comes back for the snipe.
And while he has killed this off, there's more units on the way, and he might even blink in. Oh god, this is getting really bad for Grubby. His supply is so low, for sure that 3rd Nexus is going to fall. And with it, Grubby's hopes of taking this game.
Sting just knows when to push out and when to exploit these third bases. Exactly as Grubby's third base finishes, the Marines and Marauders arrive to do the damage, and he only had one Colossus with no thermal lances, so now Grubby's still on the back foot here. He's trying to deal with what he can with these Zealots and Stalkers, but still, so much bio, still pulling off the blind once again with these probes. They're stuck behind the Stalkers. This is desperation here from Grubby as Sting once again takes out everything at the natural.
Grubby is down to 39 supply. It looks like it's about time. GG! And I tell you what, man, Sting, what a dangerous type of Terran player he has become. Just randomizing his play so well. Grubby is getting caught off guard with every move.
It feels as if, when I watched Sting from the very, very first time, the very beginning, I was like, yeah, okay, just normal Terran or whatever, but he is actually looking lethal here. He is the poison to Grubby's cure. This is crazy. Although that being said, that would kind of be counterintuitive. Grubby's not really going to be able to cure this unless he can actually step it up.
Well, you know what? He likes to go down 0-2 and then win. Well, I don't know that he likes it at the end, but not during, I'm sure. So hopefully Grubby can come back. I don't really know. Let's throw it over to that analysis desk and see what they have to say.
All right, thank you very much, guys. That was a really aggressive game number 2. And I think this game is probably best summed up if we just jump straight into the replay. I know you guys were talking about it quite a lot during. We're going to go into around the 8-minute mark. So let's hop into the game and see and let you guys narrate what really is a super key point here.
All right, so we do see this Marine sneaking around the edge of the map. Meanwhile, Grubby is preparing to do some blink aggression. So what we're going to see here is a little bit of miss micro from Grubby, walking right up to the fog, and then these Marines catch him out of guard. But he has another opportunity here. And Blisk, what is his mistakes here? If you want to just talk us through what Grubby should be doing here and what goes on with this engagement.
So Grubby just barely saw the Marines, and I'm quite sure that Sting saw Grubby Stalkers as well. So I mean, Grubby, when seeing so many Marines, he should probably just stop committing to Stalkers and should be using Stutter Step instead of Blink Micro. And he should have been much more careful walking into that fog. Should have started his tech earlier with the Colossus. Don't commit to the Blink Aggression anymore, because he should know that it's not going to do as much damage as it does usually when Sting has his units in his base.
Absolutely. So going for this aggression, you could say, is a little bit of a faulty decision after seeing so much defense out of Sting. And Sting comes up from behind with that counter-attack, and it does beautifully.
Yeah, Grubby actually warped in his base because he thought that Sting would attack with those group of Marines, but he didn't. Sting came for a flank, and then it worked perfectly.
All right, guys, so let's see what happens in game number 3 here. Grubby being pushed back quite a lot, but he's been in this kind of position before. Let's see if he can do anything about it. Artosis, Kalaris, back